The first book I have to share with you today is A Lot's Away by Darcy Little Badger. A Lot's Away is your typical teenager, except she can also raise the ghosts of dead animals, including that of her dead dog Kirby. A Lot's Away lives in a world that's similar to our own, but it's also shaped by magic, monsters, legends, and the knowledge of the people who live there, those indigenous and those not. There is all sorts of magic around Ellie. One night, she receives a dream from her cousin telling her that he's just been murdered, and he asks her for help in finding the murderer and protecting her family. Ellie must use her magic to uncover the mystery surrounding her cousin's suspicious death. It's in a small town that doesn't want prying eyes, but when Ellie digs further, she discovers that racism, prejudice, and cover-ups are all at play here. This is Give Me Some Truth by Eric Gansworth. This is the story of Carson and Maggie. Carson is in his senior year, and he's ready to make his mark on and off the reservation. His goal is to win the school's Battle of the Bands contest and win a trip to New York City. He figures that's his best chance to be famous. But things keep getting in the way of his efforts, like not having an actual band for starters. And there's the fact that his brother was just injured when confronting a racist local restaurant owner. Maggie just moved back to the reservation from the city with her family. She feels stuck making the traditional artwork that her family sells and wants to branch out and do new things. She feels out of place in her old home, which is now her new home, realizing that she's new and doesn't quite know what to do with herself. Carson and Maggie join a band in their attempts to win Battle of the Bands, along with their friend Lewis. And together, they're navigating protests, racism, loud music, and first love. This next book is Hearts Unbroken by Cynthia Lightish. When Louise's boyfriend mocks and disrespects Native Americans in front of her, she breaks things off and she dumps him for his disrespect. It's senior year and she has more important things to do, especially working on the school newspaper with her hopes of becoming a real journalist when she grows up. Soon, the school newspaper has a big story to cover, and that is the inclusive approach to casting in the school's performance of The Wizard of Oz. All of the roles are being given a diverse twist. Long-harbored prejudices, a newly formed group of Parents Against Revisionist Theater, and anonymous threats are making the play very complicated. And that means life for Louise is even more complicated. How does she remain an unbiased reporter while taking all of these disrespect very personally? It's up to her to fight for social justice and equality everywhere she sees it. This is The Merrell Thieves by Dimeline. This story is set in a not-so-distant future where the world has been devastated by global warming. There is no water left to drink, and we are quickly running out of safe places to live. We have also discovered that people have lost the ability to dream, and this inability to dream is causing widespread madness. The only people who can still dream are North America's indigenous people, and it's discovered that the cure for dreaming is in their marrow, in their bones. However, getting the marrow to cure everyone else means death for the indigenous people who are unwilling donors. They are being rounded up, captured, and killed in order to cure everyone else. In an attempt to stay alive, a 15-year-old and a group of companions live in the wilderness, attempting to reunite with their loved ones and stay alive long enough to share the dream of living in a new world. This book is An Indigenous People's History of the United States Specifically, this one is adapted for young people. The original version of this story is by Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz, who is an activist. The young people's version is adapted by Jean Mendoza and Debbie Reese. This story takes a look at what your history textbooks don't show you, and the story of how America was discovered, but really, Indigenous peoples had been living here for years. This is the story of how settlers, colonialism, and genocide played a major role in forming the national identity of America. It also takes a look at the people's history who were here before white settlers discovered America. It demonstrates the resistance, resilience, and the fight against imperialism to remain true to their identity.